So they'll be calling you a radical, little earthy for 4th of July. What, you can't do that to the flat, what? That Betsy Ross story? What, they made that all up? That's all mythical? That's all, what? Hanson was the real first president of the United States? What? So, this is important. All hands on deck, all hands on deck. Real important. So I talked to the lead biologist in Oregon, Tim and I, today. So the Deschutes, he finally come clean with the number. Finally admitted, yes, they're all dying in the ocean. 500,000 the last 5 years in a row, 7 years in a row. Escapement made it to the sea. Last year, 5 made it home. They were fishing and gill netting. No fishing and gill netting. Oh, it has to be good. I saw it all over the internet. 54. Can you do math? 500,000. Get out your HP, fucking calculators, your fucking zip fucking iOmega fucking drive and do a fucking spreadsheet. Your Lotus 123. 54. Runs over. So all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. From sick Jackma to Jack Sigma to sick Jackmas. Fucking, they're dying at sea. It's a catastrophe, still fishing. In Idaho, there's places they're still fishing, and I'm not kidding. Oh, it's great in Alaska. Coho, sockeye, no, that's an early, it's sockeye. Chinook's just as bad as it was last year. Catastrophe, some places worse. All hands on deck, all hands on deck. I can't be everywhere and everything at once. So, as you know, when the tide pools are low in daylight, I'm there. I'm in the best tide pools in the entire coast. Historic footage. The last really good daylight historic tide pools we had were in February. I'm all over them. The best tide pools in all California. I did them all winter long up and down, which I've done for years. Post Fukushima. Incredible footage. This year, it just hasn't happened. We haven't got low tides to get where I got to get to tell the tale. Now these divers, oh, we're plucking urchins underwater. That's a whole nother animal. Don't even get me going on that. That's Dana Durnford. He'll school you up on that. He's an ex-urchin fucking diver. You know, he'll let you have it on that. All hands on deck. So the only low tide we're going to get this whole fucking season, I mean a 6-month fucking season, good fucking in daylight hours, is going to be on the 4th of July, on the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th. That's it. It's going to be at the crack of fucking dawn. So I can't be I'm going to cover as much as I can. And I know where I need to be. The important ones, there's a couple real important ones, Carmel, fucking Monterey, fucking LA, San Diego, okay, that I need to get. And I'm going to get it. And so all hands on deck. You know, Peter shot a little, I mean, you could shoot a video, I'll shoot a video of the video. You know, and just get it to me. Tag it Fukushima News. You know, tide pools. Just be careful. It's sun up. On those rocks are slicker than fuck. The way I do it, I'm a professional. In fact, I'm the world record holder. All hands on deck. This is important. So more gray whales washing up dead. So what's that? 3 in Alaska just in the last 48 hours. That's been reported by media. So you could probably 10 times that. So, you know, how many? My number from my post-ignorance army is the neighborhood of 300. All-time record? Oh yeah, absolutely. We passed that a long time ago. Nothing to see. Oh, these fucking baffled, mystified, puzzled, stumped pieces of shit, they can't even bring themselves to use the word fucking starvation. Oh, malnutrition. Not enough food. You can't say the fuck, how can they say Fukushima? They can't even say fucking starvation. Mystified, baffled, puzzled, stumped, perplexed, bewildered, ultra bewildered, fucking neo fucking stumped, fucking shocked, fucking alarming. I mean, you name it, they've used it for 3,000 and what, 50 days? It's unfucking believable. That's not science. That's radio gaga goo goo. That's not even, you represent, you're a fucking scientist, you go to no, what I've done is fucking science. That's what a real, first you hypothesize the knowledge. Then you do the field work. I've done the field work for fucking 8 years. While full of fucking cancer. Boy, I had a fucking conversation with Dr. Hurst today. I just didn't even realize it was him walking with his cane up. My God, he's 94. I mean, he went on to me. I mean, he reminded me of Frida, Indiana. I mean, I didn't know she died. I mean, she just schooled me. I just sit there. This fight has to continue. They know that. These elders know that. They're passing to me. Had a really great conversation with the native councils here. Of course, they're Navajo. You know, she says, Kevin, it's pretty bad that, you know, I'm Navajo. I run the universities in the whole state. You know, everything. She says, I have to come to you. He says, well, I'm more than willing to do the dirty work, place it in the library. I'm here. You know, I quoted Ali today, but, you know, Dorothy Day, all these people, we must give of ourselves. Especially that's what elders do. You know, if I have the knowledge, I'm going to share the fucking knowledge. I'm going to do the fucking work. All hands on deck. You know, if you can, I know it's going to be early. And crack of dawn this time of year is early. You have to be up early, on site, in tide pools. It's dangerous, you know, but I'll do the work. I'll do as much as I can. Get that done. So the big council meeting in Vienna, they have shifted to late September. You know, and it's going to go for a couple weeks, so I got to do the bang for my buck, you know. I mean, it costs a lot of money to travel to Europe. I mean, the plane flight alone, that's fucking $1,400 round trip alone, fucking, let alone fucking staying there. So, you know, I'll get that handled, be there. I have permission. I've worked with the Austrian authorities. I've worked with the UN authorities. It's the UN authorities I have to go through where I'm at, right there, the Austrian. Do what I do. My sign, you know, my post-ignorant sign. This is a fucking catastrophe. You can go in denial all you want. From 1.4 million returning Chinook salmon on the fucking Columbia River, my number is going to be dead on again. Now, that's not, you know, my dad used to say, we played a lot of basketball. Once is luck, twice is skill. 3 in a row, that's recorded history. This will be 4 in a row. I've had dead on. Nobody else on earth. Seattle, you can go into fucking denial. Idaho, catastrophe. American manufactured Jesus. I've been working on my flag for the 4th of July. I'll have it with me. It's cool. Let you see this thing. Consumption junkies, what's your function? What a fucking free fall we've had. So don't come around here no more. You ain't gonna find what you're looking for, cancer. So I'm gonna redo Alice in Wonderland here. So I'm working on that. American manufactured Jesus, the one you went up, that great, incredible activist who had the whip. By the way, this is important stuff, real important. So the protocol guy has been suspended. My word is he's quit. And now mainstream media, which is a clown circus, well, alternative media, the internet's even worse, is reporting that he used to come to work with a whip. Is that even fucking true? Well, WFW, it got reported, leaked to me, that they were having fucking orgies right as the salmon started to collapse in 2015, and then the lead of the WWF, which they won't post any numbers in Washington. Thank you to Oregon. Thank you to Oregon. That's my work. They have those numbers out every day. They've told the Armored Car Engineers to fuck off. You know, we don't count dead typos, Kevin Blanch says. We don't count dead humans and bone marrow transplants, Kevin Blanch says. We don't count, oh, we count every fucking salmon on the Columbia, the big hollow drainage. We count them all. Why? And by the way, the number I report is by fish, not by weight. They're coming and sucked up. That's Tim's work. He's been fantastic up there, boots on the ground. What an activist he's been for me. He talks to me every day, reports every day, all over. I have the best fucking salmon guides in the fucking world reporting to me daily. I mean, boots on the fucking ground in the most important places. I mean, the Klamath native in his fucking chair himself. Hey, they got sores in them. They're sucked up fucking scrapes, and the ones that are coming in, they're fucking little teeny ugly. Klamath Falls, nothing. Excuse me. Klamath, the river, nothing. I mean, Deschutes, 54. I mean, the road's just as fucking bad. The Willamette, damn it. Oh my God. Still had catastrophe, Chinook catastrophe, but the big drainage is the Bonneville. I mean, that Bonneville drainage goes clear up to the top of Canada. I mean, that river's 2.5 miles fucking long. They all come home, and it's the big one. You know, much bigger than the Copper and the Kenai. Oh, fuck yes. By far, it's just like the tide pools. I know which tide pools I need to be. BB Point, that's the best tide pool in California. Dana Point, oh yeah, that's a good one, but it's not the best. Monterey, oh fuck yeah. I know where to be at Monterey. I never use the word extinction. We're getting there. On our fucking wall. I used genocide, didn't I? Genocide. And that's what they fucking done. Just like Jesus with Israel. Looking over the fucking tables. And this guy, from the report I'm getting, whistleblowers, it's all about the G20 in Fukushima and the cover-up. How many of those guys do you think will go over to Hiroshima? The G20's in Osaka. You don't, oh, the Taiwan and the Hong Kong, and you think that that'll get reported? That, oh, you don't think they're there and signed up and ready? I know for a fact thousands of them are there. Japanese there, and they're protesting Fukushima. It's just like inside China. Somebody says, look at this, Kevin, blanch. They were going to bring some waste into China. And you can hear them chanting. I said, what are they chanting? We know about Fukushima. No place in the world is getting the food here. And so, your American manufactured Jesus? That one? That one? You mean that fucking heal the afflicted, feed the fucking poor, first they come for the carpenter, no usury. You mean the buy here, payday one? The fucking exploit thy neighbor, hate thy neighbor, fucking covet thy neighbor's Walmart shit? That one? You see no Walmart fucking jump on me. Never. So, all hands on deck. It'll be historic, like all my footage is historic. You'll get it nowhere else in the world. The footage that I have, the last several fucking years up and down that coast are at historic low tides. I mean, the closest moon cycle to the earth fucking, right there. I mean, hours and hours and hours of footage right there for you to view. Dates, times, not to mention uploaded immediately. I mean, I've come out of those pools just because I want it to be dated. They say, hey, when was that shot? That day. You could ask, I mean, I'm standing at fucking 5 o'clock in the morning in Castroville next to the public library. Oh, try that one. Getting Wi-Fi. Standing at a fucking Starbucks at fucking midnight. Some of these videos take fucking hours to upload. Not to mention trying to fucking type with your fucking thumb and this, you know how the machine types for you. You have no clue how much work I put into this. None. It's historic as fucking hell. I stay at this, I'm ruthless every fucking day. You know, remember I did this while I'm full of leukemia, giving me fucking 2 months to live. Not to mention with a failed aortic valve jumping through those. What I do through those types, it's like my friend at PB, the lifeguard says, I never seen anything like you. I watched you from that shack go through those tide pools that fucking night. She says, I've never seen the pools that low, and I never seen anybody go through those things. He says, my God, you're all the way out there, you're just flying across those rocks like you just glide across them, which is dangerous as fuck. Oh, am I telling you? You know, I've fallen with that fucking iPad several fucking times because it shoots great the footage, but I always protect it. It's got cracks on the edge of the, and I broke my hand, back of my head, but I've got it. From Point Loma, well, even lower than that, from IB. Oh, I've been on every single pier. I can do a peer review of the fucking pier. I've been on every pier in California. Under them, above them, on every quintessential fucking, I know the best tide pools in the fucking, this part of the world is. So, that's the plan. These guys won't have hearings anymore. Like in Utah, Idaho, we used to have the meetings and everything. They've gotten twice to me. They don't have because of me. Because I show up with a YouTube camera and fucking brand their ass in. Now they do them, oh, you can send your question in and they're behind locked doors. They do them behind a camera in Austin, Texas, in DC, because they know I'm going to be there no matter where it is. But at the UN they have to show, and they're going to have to go by me in Vienna. Our roads lead to Vienna. Our roads lead here to Ogden. So, you know, the fight goes on. Don't come around here no more, cancer. So, your Jesus, my Jesus, his Jesus, I can't believe it. Everybody in the United States, Jesus, 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 fuck, but they don't, they talk it. They don't know anything about him. They don't know anything about him. The carpenter, the fucking crazy, intense, fucking hardcore fucking radical, the anti-usury guy, tipped the whip, that was so against the mainstream fucking money changers similar to today. They hated him, he was so radical. God, I just cut myself again with the can again. Maybe we drip some blood. They nailed him to a fucking cross and killed him. Let him suffer so everybody could see. So this guy is the protocol. Well, how many times has Trump been to Japan? You don't think he fucking knows about Fukushima? What do you think him and a bee are all about? You don't think this guy knows? He's going to work with a whip? It's widely reported. Well, it's not the word I get. The word I get is he's afraid of getting cancer in fucking Japan like the rest of them, but they're above it. Just like here, my Jesus, your Jesus, fucking, we can just say it. You know, we're here to rape fucking earth because I just said he's my Jesus. I'm going to. If you believe in all that theology, guess what? There's hell too. And remember, to bear false witness, false prophets. I like all these fuckers calling themselves prophets. Play back the tape, Kevin Blanch. I'm Kevin Blanch. You want to talk prophecy? Whoa, whoa. How about the fall of GE? How about the fall of General? I mean, whoa, whoa. How about the salmon collapse? How about once his luck, twice his skill, 3 times his recorded history? I'm going to be dead on the fucking nuts again. Remember I said my number at 220? Lord one eye. We go from 1.4 million on the Columbia. We're going to come in probably less than 200,000. Dying in the ocean. 500,000 escape. Come home. 54 on the Deschutes. Road's even fucking worse. Willamette, I mean, all of them. Tillamook Bay, I mean, fuck, none of the big hogs showed up last year. They're dying in the ocean, just like the starving fucking, wouldn't you think that'd be a story? I mean, you just blow it off. That's one thing that I've learned about this. You know, circling the wagons, the nuclear industry going out and hiring trolls, fucking, and then I knew, and the haters, I knew that was all going to go down. I mean, that was all predictable. Everything was, but the one thing that I could not predict was that once this did play out, the Great Pacific Genocide, as I call it, that no one gave a fuck. Pacific Ocean fucking dying like this in an acute fucking way. And no one cared. Mystified, puzzled, stumped, bewildered, baffled. And they call themselves fucking scientists. How is mainstream media even quoting that? Scientists bewildered. They're not scientists. That's fucking hyperbole, blah, 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 radio, goo-goo, radio, gaga, fucking asymmetric, fucking gold. Well, they're fucking pieces of dog shit who ought to be rounded up. They're getting all this fucking money. I've done this grassroots. Thank you, everybody, supported this historic work. This fucking fight goes on. Fucking American manufactured genius. That's what leukemia does to you. I'm a bleeder. Big time. Don't take much, huh? I had lots of bleeding instances. Fucking going through these typos in this incident. How'd you sleep last night? Don't you fucking lie to me. I slept in the dead fucking pines on the fucking cliffs of fucking Gorda. In the fucking, next to the dead tide pools. With the sun from Fukushima, Japan. Oh, it always shines. It broke the fucking chain. Fucking, oh, fucking, woman tells me, how could fucking radiation kill a 60 fucking ton? Well, never killed a 60 fucking 30 tons, 60 tons, 600,000 pounds, 60,000 pounds, fucking 3 pounds, 2 pounds, fucking 100 pounds. They didn't kill any. They killed their food. It's an eco-fucking change, stupid. Somebody said me a thing about Sting, you know, and I was going back over when Sting wrote over the thing that, you know, we're all part of the biology. The Russians love their children too. How can you people still stick up for these fucking dickheads? All these fuckers, Sting, everybody did all this music in the fucking 80s. Touch your, and made fucking millions off our backs as we're doing all the work. And then they just take their money around. Who sold Bongo's trousers? Bono? How long must I sing this? By the way, deport the edge. That fucker is still suing in California. He wants to build these big fucking complex right there at fucking Santa. He doesn't even know about Santa Susana. Deport the motherfucker. When I'm in California, the one thing I notice, the fucking Irish kids, 12 of them in a fucking place this big. I don't see you deporting them. I don't see you deporting them, Trump. Deport the edge. Oh, Ireland don't want the motherfucker. Who stole Bongo's fucking trousers? Fuck him. Deport this piece of fucking shit. These fuckers, all these fuckers stink. Fuck, deport all these motherfuckers. You know? Down by the refinery, Springsteen. Fuck them. Fuck every one of them. You fuckers still get on your fucking knees and worship them? It's like, what's her name? So Kelly Slater. I said, well, get on your... I mean, you don't know what I told her. Where the fuck has he been the whole fucking time? Making money off fucking grass hooters like so many of you fucking did off my back. You know? Dorothy Day, one thing in her book, my favorite radical. Jesus, Dorothy Day. The hardest thing for me, she said, she's an Oakland girl. She's a Bay Area girl. Learning to accept poverty. It's been hard. Really fucking hard. You know, I was a millionaire when I got fucking cancer. I was uninsured. People attacking me while I'm in critical condition. Who would have believed it? My own government. I mean, people are fucking cold-blooded, ruthless, dumb fuckers throwing karma all over themselves. Anything for a buck, huh? I mean, you traded in your health for some fuckhead you never met's fucking wealth in your golden handcuffs. You think the zenith of life is comfortability. You think I'm weak, I think you're fucking wrong. Stand tuned and see you on the fucking beach. Not on the fucking beach. Go team.